Hello and welcome to this extended gameplay of OPPIDUM, a survival story-driven adventure inspired by Zelda for 1 to 4 players. What you're seeing now is part of a somewhat advanced game, in which the player has already been able to craft some decent equipment, as they progress through some quests that are part of the main story of the game. We just received a quest from a kid to fetch his ball inside this enemy camp, which we needed to clear anyway so we could get back to the main settlement of the game we found so far. There's some strategy to be taken into account here. Every enemy behaves differently. For example, that guy in the back is able to cast attacks on area and heal their allies, so it's a good idea to take them out first. That doesn't mean you have to lower your guard. Okay, so now that the camp is clear, the barrier blocking our way is down and I'm free to claim my loot. Here's where resource management comes into play, as I currently don't have enough space for everything I'm carrying and need to decide which items I keep. Stones are abundant compared to some of the items in the chest, so I just get rid of them. Fur and bones are less easy to find, but I have some back at my camp and don't really need them right now, so off they go. Okay, with that I can make it out, but wait, I just remember I had a ball to find in here. The kid mentioned the ball getting stuck on a tree, so let's use the hatchet to try and bring it down. Alright, here it is. As you can see, there's a glowing silhouette where the tree used to be, which serves as an indication that the tree will respawn. There's an energy on the island called Tamai, which keeps nature in balanced cycle and regrows its resources. Alright, good deed achieved, and we earned ourselves a nice extra heart up in the left corner. It will be useful for our next steps, so I'm glad I didn't ignore this request. I'm going to ignore those wild boars for now. My compressor isn't in the best condition, so it's best we avoid unnecessary battle. Instead, let's do some routine checkup on Litor, the settlement I've mentioned before. Nip, one of the main characters in our questline, asked us to retrieve her special quill from the library. Let's jump straight to the moment in which I delivered the quill to her. It's a new day, as you can see, and we find Nip and Kai helping us investigate so we can progress in our current task. So we have our next objective. Here you can see me contemplating really hard the idea of jumping, maybe I'll be able to land with style, but this kind of slime comes to remind me that there's fall damage, and I probably don't want to risk it, so let's tank him properly. We're back at Litore now. In order to complete the ritual to contact Trunch, one of the legendary guardians of the island, we need to find imbued fruit. Habs is the farmer at Litore, so if anyone can help us with this, it's her. Seems like the process is going to require farming back at our camp, as well as collecting some mud. Mud can be found in beaches, which are often populated like monsters, like those giant hermit crabs back there. Now before I leave, I'm going to need a well in my camp to fill up my water can and water my crops. I'm going to need some rope, and one easy way to find it is at the local store. There isn't currency of any type on Insule. Instead, its inhabitants commerce by bartering, so let's try to get ourselves a good deal. Good thing I took some time to defeat those crabs back there and have some extra loot to use in the transaction. Very well, no pun intended, let's jump straight to our camp. I have some stone being processed into stone blocks in my forge. And it's late, so let's sleep and let it work overnight. Good morning, it's a brand new day, and our stone blocks should be ready. Good, we can now build our well, fill up our water can, and water these crops. Fine, let's plant the seeds Habs gave me, aside from the ones I already had. And something I'm noticing is that my water can can't actually hold much water, so instead of refilling it, let's make a better one. We actually have to make one for the offering, so let's make two and retire the old one. Yup, this is much better. Once we are done with collecting everything we need for our offering, we only need to clear the area around the altar, and present the tribute to Trunch. Getting the imbued fruit took some more elements, but we got some extra reward from Haps. And the purples, the last part of the offering, required us crafting a new tool that will be useful in our adventure. Finally present the offering to Trunch. Now, let's hope everything goes well from now on.
calm and bright. They lived in peace, no sign of fight, till monsters came with claws and flame and forced them from their home in shame. A handful fled across the sea, seeking safety wild and free. But storms did break their fragile ships, and hope began to slip their grips. For days they drifted cold and tired, till one awoke as dawn inspired. His flippers felt the soft, warm sand. Before him lay a distant land. With weary hearts they rose once more, and built a home upon that shore. They called it Nortopia, safe and bright, unaware of trials in the night.
有人问我怎么把宗门建设的这么好的，我只能回答是灵石和机缘改变了我，这些都是我一颗灵石一颗灵石堆起来的。这一砖一瓦，亭台楼阁，谁看了不夸一句贤家福地呀？和当初的废墟简直判若两地。你再看这傻小子，本是村口玩泥巴的，被我招收了，现在妥妥的是一帮大佬的存在了。是机缘让我们互相成就，毕竟他木灵根这么强，我还是很爱惜人才。
Thank you.